IVM.
So it's been another great week on IVM, where we try to get you the best podcasts that are around. This week on the Pragati podcast, we have management and mint columnist Karthik Sashidhar, who joins Pawan and Hamsani to talk about elections and voting. On Shunya One, we have Sameer Pittalwala, founder of Culture Machine, talking about streaming content online and ad creation through tech, his journey with setting up Culture Machine. On IVM Likes, we have Abbas, Janam and Naveen talking about the meme culture. On the Vishal Gundal show, Vishal welcomes Vivek Bhargav, CEO of iProspect to Communicate, one of the foremost digital advertising companies in the country. On Keeping It Queer, Naveen interacts with queer filmmaker Pradipta Ray, who opens up about what it was like to identify as trans in a culturally affluent household. On Who's Your Mommy, we tackle the weird advice literally everyone gives to new moms. On Cyrus Says, we have Gauri Devi Dayal, an ace entrepreneur responsible for starting several awesome restaurants in Bombay. On Sonology, a unique agony aunt call-in show, Sonu helps his listeners on how to potty train their dogs. It's been a great week on IVM, and we hope that you can check out as many of these shows as you can. And now let me get you onto your show.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Geek Fruit podcast. My name is Dinkar and with me is...
Are you rapping?
No.
What was that?
It was my normal speaking voice, Jishnu.
That sounded like if you were an M or a C or a...
An MC?
An MC, yeah.
Do you spell MC with an M and a C or an E-M-C-E-E? I feel like that's the correct way
I
to
have...
do it.
Do you know me? Do you think I've ever spelled out... Or I think this is the first time I've said the word MC.
In your life?
Maybe.
So, an MC originally stood for Master of Ceremonies, but I think at this point, since it's used to be synonymous with rapper...
Now it's a prefix for every burger that McDonald's makes.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So it's a Mick.
Mm-hmm. It's a Mick.
All right. This is the Geek Fruit podcast where we discuss all sorts of things apparently, including what the spelling of MC should be. But usually we discuss sci-fi and nerd movies in the ilk. And today we're talking about Deadpool 2. But before that, we have some fan mail to get to, Jishnu.
Ahoy!
Yay!
Friends.
So, let me tell you about our friend Shivang Gupta, who says, "Hey guys, wanted to ask if you guys watched Silicon Valley. They had a legendary season finale. Do you?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Never seen it?
No.
Let me just clarify one more time though. Have you seen Silicon Valley, Jishnu?
I've seen every episode. I love the show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
What?
No.
Ah, okay.
I haven't. I have no time, dude.
You said no.
I only... I said...
You said no thrice in a row.
Let me be clear.
And yet I fell for that.
Let me be clear.
You trickster.
TJ Miller is in Deadpool 2?
Yes.
That's all I know him from.
You only know him from Deadpool 2?
Yeah, because I haven't seen Silicon Valley.
Dude, TJ Miller is he was a cool dude. Right now he's being super weird. He got kicked off of Silicon Valley.
Yeah, I heard there was some kerfuffle about political correctness.
Not political correctness.
The Me Too movement.
There was
right?
some business about the Me Too movement.
He said a thing and he upset people.
No, so apparently he did a thing in college and him and his wife, who were in college together, were both like, this lady's nuts. So fine, maybe you can leave, yeah.
Wait a minute. He did a thing in college?
He did a Me Too thing in college. He harassed or assaulted a woman, basically a lady who knew him in college, accused him of that thing.
Okay, right.
And his wife, who was a classmate of his in college, and they've been dating since then, said this is all a lie. This lady's just jealous of us.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, maybe you can forgive that. But also, he's just been weird in general. He got arrested the other day for threatening a cab driver with violence or something like that.
Ooh. He
would apparently turn up to the Silicon Valley set and just fall asleep because he was completely drugged out. And if you read an interview with him in general, he's a bit of a nut job right now. Though he is a great actor and comedian.
Sure.
I actually started watching Silicon Valley because of Mike Judge, who's a cool dude. He's the dude from Beavis and Butthead and Office Space and Idiocracy and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a great show. It's really fun and it's not time intensive at all. It's like 20-25 minutes. It's a breeze.
It's on the giant laundry list of things. I had just because of the stuff we review at Geek Fruit and because I am the sole keeper of, people's knowledge of what's going on with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't have time.
Yeah.
I have to watch S.H.I.E.L.D. The people need it. So
in the time you watch one episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you could watch 3 episodes of Silicon Valley.
It's a 40-minute show.
What, Silicon Valley?
No, S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, I meant it felt like 60 minutes. Anyway, so to answer your question, Shivank, yes, half of us watch Silicon Valley. I think it's a great show. I thought this season was a little more inconsistent. It kind of ended on a weirdly positive note. It needs fiber. Also, thoughts on Lost in Space, Shivank asks. Have you seen it?
I have not. Tejas has seen it.
Yeah,
we were going to see it until Tejas said, don't see it.
It's not great. It's
about
really weird. You remember the original Lost in Space?
I barely remember.
Will Robinson and
I did
whatnot.
see it when I was a kid.
It's a weird and funny show.
Yeah, but
it's really dumb.
I feel like, I could be wrong, but I feel like when I watched that show when I was a kid, it was back when like my TV had like 8 buttons on it.
Right.
And like, that's how long ago we're talking. You know, like when the only channels were like Channel V, MTV, Star Plus, because it was on Star Plus.
It was on Star Plus,
you know, and
in
like
the afternoons.
Doordarshan and then Static.
So this is
Static
like...
1, Static 2.
This is a weird show. I don't know. It was very ungripping. Is that a thing?
It was hokey in
I'm talking about the new Lost in Space.
Oh, the new one. Oh.
The old one was kind of just like, whatever.
You know...
it looked fun.
I'm going to make a very specific reference. Have you seen That Thing You Do?
Yeah.
So you remember the scene when Lenny and Jimmy go to ask a guy to join the band,
right.
and he's in Patterson's appliance store. Mm-hmm. Clearly, I've seen this movie way too many times.
Yeah,
I love this movie. I love this movie.
Yeah.
So they're in the appliance store, and they're looking at just TVs, and there's some generic old school black and white thingy of like marionette puppets.
Right.
And he's like, look, they're in space, they're on the moon, and it's just like really crummy puppets with like strings, and you can see them, and he's like, hey, look, it's marionettes. I didn't know that, huh? And that was funny. And I was like, yeah, that's like Lost in Space. Like that's where my head goes when I think of Lost in Space. Like really hokey kind of stuff that's like meant to fool a 6-year-old into thinking high budget production value. But then you become an adult, you're like, wow, this is...
Color me impressed, Jishnu. That was the greatest...
I warned you.
That was the greatest string of dots that I've ever seen connected.
Spoiler alert.
Oh no, you didn't have to warn me. You should have prepared me for the awesomeness that reference was. Well done.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Aniket Kanolkar asks us, his email is basically just...
Oh, yeah. What was it?
It says, your opinion on Thundercats Roar. Without a question mark, which I'm offended by. Okay, is he asking us or no?
Here's the thing. So, we've asked very little of our lovely fans that write into us. Mm-hmm. But the few things that we do ask is, one, bullet points, which I think I haven't seen bullet points since like 2017.
Right.
And 2 is to like, present them in like real...
Make yourself
make
present
it like...
it's
that's
fine.
Not even a tweet.
Let them write to us however they want. It's fine. But I will make this point. If you're using bullet points, I would appreciate if you used the format list option in your mail client as opposed to just writing like one dot space.
Yeah.
Because then that's not even bullet points.
Yeah.
What is the point of your formatting?
Yeah.
You're just writing numbers. But also write how you want. It's not like I'm anal about it. But if you are, use the formatting options. That's what they're there for. All right. Oh, wait. We didn't give him our opinions on Thundercats.
Oh, right.
I was about to move on. You saw the trailer literally moments ago because I told you about it.
Yeah.
We haven't actually given our thoughts on the trailer. Let's do that now. What do you think of it? It's gotten a lot of hate, I can tell you.
One, it's not really a trailer. So it was
it's
kind of
cool.
It was kind of cool to see like how they're making it.
It's essentially an art preview.
Right.
And like a tonality
preview. Yeah, exactly. And so the thing is, I don't feel like it's fair to judge that, really, because it's like...
Yeah, so no one's judging the content,
yeah.
But what the uproar has been about is the fact that they've changed what Thundercats is.
Right.
Which I don't see the issue with. It's a Teen Titans Go style.
Right. That's the thing. Like between what they've done with like the Powerpuff Girls, what they've done with the Ninja Turtles these days, and what they've like, it's just the thing now. Like they're just taking old nostalgia-based stuff. The people that used to play with the action figures are now creating them. So now it's like, hey, I'm an adult. It's amazing that you're giving me the opportunity to mess with the stuff that I love, that I grew up imagining I was playing with. Now I can literally do that. Like, power to you. If that's... Yeah, I was never too invested in Thundercats to begin with, so I don't really have much of a strong opinion on it. But from what I saw, it's not enough for me to form an opinion.
Yes, but I will tell you this about the approach. I like it. Like, I really like Teen Titans Go. And half of Teen Titans Go is basically just like kind of puncturing the mythos of the DC universe, right? They're like, it's funny. These things are ridiculous. Let's just make fun of everything. I like that. And I think Thundercats is like ripe to do that with. I mean, they're called like Lion-O and Panthro and Lynx-O and what? Chitara. There's a Chitara, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course you should make fun of these things. And man, stop taking things too seriously. Thundercats Roar, we are on board.
Absolutely.
Half of us.
Yeah.
like half of you and half of me.
Yeah.
Neither of us have an opinion on it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I'm just like,
we
it's a
definitely
thing.
think it's not worthy of hating.
No, why?
All right. Let's move on to Akshat Pandey's email. He says, "Hey guys, comma, wow."
Wow.
We should just stop the email here. We've peaked.
He
We should stop the show here.
That's already 10 on 100 in his English language letter writing exam.
I mean, and 100 on 100 in his fandom writing to us. If you start your email with wow, done.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, wow. What a cartoon episode. Probably one of my top 5 favorite Geek Fruit episodes. Wow.
Okay, now you have to tell us the other 4.
Yeah. Akshat, please tell us the other 4.
Yeah.
One of his top 5. Where do you think it landed? I think it was a solid 4.
I want to know the top 5, and I want to know the second worst episode.
The second worst?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I hope it's not this one. Well, it can't be for Akshat. He's been mentioned a ton in this one. Anyway, he says, probably one of my top 5 favorite Geek Fruit episodes. I've been a great fan of the DCAU, and I hope the DCEU gets somewhere close to it. I've watched pretty much everything in the DCAU. This is about last week's episode, by the way, in case I wasn't clear, where we talk about the DCAU. Some of my favorites are Mask of Phantasm, though it's not exactly in the DCAU. Correct, we also love it. The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. Great, though why split it up? I feel like The Dark Knight Returns Part 1, Part 2 are basically the same thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know there was a part 2. I just consumed them as...
They are one big piece.
Because that's what, when I saw it, I saw it as...
Maybe because he says Part 2, maybe because it brings the story to a close. Okay.
Sure.
The Flashpoint Paradox. Great. The Return of the Cape Crusaders. Scott Pilgrims of the DCU. Interesting take. Cool. Crisis on Two Earths. Great. Batman Under the Red Hood. Great. I mean, we discussed literally every single DCAU movie in the previous one. So cool. I can just go on. After listening to the episode, I realize how amazing these films and shows have been. That is perfect. This is Geek Fruit's very purpose on this earth. To remind you of cool things.
Reaffirming belief in cool things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You already knew a cool thing and we said, remember that cool thing?
You had the cool thing in you all along.
Yeah,
the cool thing was
inside us all along.
Yeah.
As a regular listener, I would like to request you to do an episode on the DC Lego movies. They are hilarious, especially the Flash one. Cool. Maybe we should discuss that in some future water cartoon. Are the Lego movies cartoons? They are, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Why not?
Another recommendation that I would like to make is Ryan's Pitch Meetings on Screen Rant, YouTube. If you have watched these, then share your views. Have you seen this?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I've watched Screen Rant stuff.
I've seen a few things on Screen Rant.
Once in a while, it pops up, but I don't really know what Ryan's Pitch Meetings are. Let me guess. Let's extrapolate what Ryan's pitch meetings might be. There's a dude called Ryan, and he pitches superhero concepts based off of only titles suggested in YouTube comments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I think this could be an interesting
So I think
show.
first is he like the best superhero?
Who?
The first comment.
The first comment?
Because there's always a comment that says first.
Oh, I see what you're saying
That
now.
says
You're saying
just first.
the one guy who comments first
Just the
is
word
he
first.
the superhero?
Yeah.
Do you think First could be a superhero?
I think he could be.
All right. There's a crisis going on. Like a bank is being robbed. Spider-Man's on the way. Superman's on the way because this is a mixed universe. But there's one superhero who always makes it there.
Yep.
He lands up. He goes like,
First.
first. And then he leaves.
That's... So the thing is, you can't hate on him because he was there. He tried.
Yeah.
Courage is not his strong suit because he doesn't really stick around for the action. But he's like, hey, I saw it happen. If you need a witness in court, I can be there.
Yeah. Because I was here first.
I saw it. I saw it happen.
Yeah.
And that's his contribution.
Do you think he also has a bunch of copycat heroes who also try it? They land it, they go like, oh, damn it, and then they leave?
Do you remember that game Gold Spot?
No.
Do you know the Gold Spot in school?
No, what is
Janam,
it?
you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, Gold Spot. It's like where you put you stand in a circle.
Oh, wait.
I don't know why
you
this
stand in a
works.
circle, you put your feet in, and then... All right. We used to call that old black shoe.
What? Wait, so then...
It makes way more sense because you're wearing black shoes in school.
No. Okay, we're halfway there.
Were you
we're
playing with
halfway
Gold
there.
Spot?
So you walk me through this.
Yes.
So we put your foot next to my foot. Come on.
All right.
Okay, so you put your foot in the circle. And then you put your hands in the circle.
What?
Okay, hand in.
All right.
Okay, so your hands are in. I don't know if you touch the hands or if it's like it's a no touch. It's
We're
like
actually
it's not
doing this, by the
consensual.
way. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't touch because that you need, we're not over 18, we're in school, so
Sure.
it's not okay.
Okay.
And then you say Gold Spot first.
What?
It's a thing. So you have
So
to,
who's first?
okay.
What do you pull the hand out?
Find your keynote. Go.
Gold. Should I harmonize with you? Oh,
okay, yeah.
No, I'm doing
Third.
a rise, like
Okay,
just
okay.
before the bass drops.
Right, but like, give me the third harmony. Go. That's a fifth.
That's
No.
completely
Okay.
off. Yeah,
So you say, so it's a slow rise. Everybody says gold spot,
Right.
really slowly.
Okay.
And then you finish with like really excitable, like spot. And then somebody says first.
Okay, this
And
isn't like
whoever said first wins. I don't know where this game came from, but it's a thing.
That's the weirdest game
Yeah.
I've heard of. How do you win?
You say first.
That's it?
Yes.
So basically, you invented YouTube comments in school.
Sure.
All right. Do you think there's
I'll take
another
it.
kind of superhero who pops up and go? He just pops up to Bankheist and goes like, "Hey, hit like if you're in before 100 million was stolen," and then he leaves, and a bunch of bystanders are like. All right, this was our first segment. We're going to come back and talk about the superhero film Deadpool 2. So stick around. We will be right back.
Every week comes a show where three people come together to tell you about stuff they like. A movie, a TV show, a book, and other stuff. Tune in every Monday on the IVM Podcast app to IVM Likes.
IVM Likes is brought to you by Setu IMAX.
Okay, welcome back to the Geek Fruit podcast. We are discussing Deadpool 2. Oh, should I say it like this? Geek Fruit first.
Now, okay.
Yeah. Now I think
You need the first.
I understand Gold Spot now.
Yeah.
Let's talk Deadpool 2, Jishnu.
Somebody please write in and back me up on this gold spots stuff. It means the world to me.
All right.
All right. So yeah, I didn't do the first Deadpool episode with you guys. Just
I
to
don't
refresh
remember.
people's memories, I didn't watch the first Deadpool in theaters because of
Because of censorship
overbearing
issues.
concern of censorship. Like if you've ever heard me speak on this show, you know that I'm super anal about my cinematic viewing experience to a fault, and I know it. But with a movie like this, I was very worried that the censorship would just ruin it because it was going to be F-bombs all over the place and all other stuff and more and gore and all kinds of stuff. So I didn't watch the first one. I waited until it came out on home release, and I was perfectly happy waiting because turns out not that much happens in the movie of any major significance to the universe that, Deadpool is in.
Right.
Also, that being said, we all know that the Fox X-Men universe is sloppy
I
at
mean, it's
best when
like-
it comes to like
Exactly.
commitment
at this
to being
point,
a universe.
it's really just
Yeah,
a mess.
It's
so
just
it's
a mess.
fine.
Yeah.
Like, let's treat Deadpool as what it is, which is just like
a popcorn movie.
Yeah, it's a
It's
popcorn
a fun
movie.
It's a fun romp.
So
and
your
it's cool.
opinion on the first one was enjoyable, but not
enjoyable
super
but
memorable?
forgettable.
Forgettable,
Forgettable
exactly.
because like it was. I mean, I know that somehow we're in the minority with this, which surprised me. But I mean, I know that tons of people love Deadpool because of the fact that it doesn't take itself too seriously, which like the Marvel movies are doing more and more.
Right. Like
And
Ragnarok.
yeah, Ragnarok being the exception.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like, if you guys have heard our episode on Ragnarok, then you know that Tejas and my only real beef with that movie is that it didn't take itself too seriously. It had like massive consequential events happening in it, which they just joked about and like put aside and didn't really give Thor and Asgard the time of day when it came to grieving about it. So that being said, this movie, the Deadpool 2,
Yeah.
I thought was about the same in that it was,
It was
fun
more of the
popcorn
same,
romp,
though,
more
right?
of the
Yeah.
same. But here's where my I'm really jumping the gun when it comes to what we're going to talk about. But here's what my big takeaway from it was. Yes, it's a fun romp. It was cool. It was hilarious. It had all the hits you wanted. It had all the jokes you wanted. It was great. It was funny. It had a few things in it, especially with the post-credit scene, which I'm sure we'll get into later. But
Yeah.
it had little tiny moments in it that were real, that were like
Yes.
talking about real things, either regarding, Deadpool's character or regarding Colossus or regarding people that we like in his little universe, or in fact, other people from the universe, directly referring to, talking about Wolverine or the
Yeah.
other X-Men. And my problem is I don't know how much I should invest in this because
Exactly.
the thing is with the MCU, like, all right, I'll say it for the millionth time, because of things like how S.H.I.E.L.D. integrates and how Netflix works and how the other stuff works, everything I know in the Marvel world has stakes that matter.
Yeah.
Because they give more than one F about what goes on in the other worlds. But you know how we keep talking about like the X-Men timeline is just all over the place.
Yeah.
They were trying up until a point, and then they've said, screw it, we're just going to give you Logan as like a one-off thing, and I love it more than anything else. I've seen it like 4 or 5 times at this point.
Yeah.
But it's great because it stands on its own.
Correct.
As its own thing, as its own insular thing, I think it's freaking beautiful.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the world building of everything else, it's just a hot mess.
But I don't think Deadpool really tries to build a world. Okay, let's put this out as a thesis statement.
Okay.
Deadpool, I think, only works as a string of jokes, which was, I feel, the issue with the first one as well. Now, what bothers me about the first one, and this one as well, and like Deadpool as a character in general, is you can be funny and you can take things not seriously.
Yeah.
But like the whole fourth wall breaking shtick, it's a fine line between being hilarious about it and kind of just using it as a crutch.
Oh,
so if something dumb happens and
Yeah.
you look at the screen and go like, this is dumb.
Right.
Well, that's kind of like, that's a cheat, right?
Yeah. You
And
know,
I
the
feel
line,
like
the
they
line he
skirt
said a
that
lot
line a
was,
lot.
he said the line, that's just lazy writing.
Yes.
He said it a bunch, and I was like, that's not the only time that was lazy writing. Dude.
Correct.
I was like, yeah, cool, you got that.
Saying
but
that's just lazy writing is
is
also lazy
is
writing.
quite lazy. Yeah.
And
so
the second thing
go
that,
ahead.
sorry, just to expand, is what you're saying about there being serious moments that they undercut
Yeah.
is really weird because I get what they're trying to do, but they're not pulling it off. They're
Yeah.
trying to be hilarious, but also have you care about Deadpool as a character.
Right.
And it's like, pick a lane, or at least like pick your moments correctly,
Yeah.
because they'll do something really dumb and like meta, and at the same time go like, oh, care about this thing that happened to Deadpool.
Right.
So they're trying to have their cake and eat it as well,
Yeah.
which is, don't cheat.
I'll put it like my relationship with Deadpool before when I just sat down in the theater
A
like
confessional
about this.
essay by Jishnu Guha.
Yes, he is Deadpool exists amongst all the superheroes to me as that really loud, charismatic kid in class who everybody in school knows about because he's like that loud, charismatic kid, and he's funny.
He's like, oh, Deadpool from 8G.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, everybody knows a Deadpool.
Everybody
from 8G.
knows Deadpool from 8G.
But Deadpool from 8G
It's never in
doesn't
class.
have much substance to him. He's just like, I can't hold a conversation with the guy.
Yes.
If I do hold a conversation, he's going to do 90% of the talking. It'll be funny, but I won't end up wanting to meet him the next day and be like, oh, let's continue that conversation.
Yeah.
I'll be like, all right, that was amusing.
He's a class clown.
He's a class clown.
He's like a stand-up comedian when
Which
you
is-
meet them off stage.
You said it, I didn't.
Oh, no.
You do know that a lot of our guests are stand-up comedians, right? Anyway, that's all you.
Oh, no.
I'm the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. guy. You're the really bad person.
I see. Cool.
So anyway, but see, that's the other thing. He knows that he's a class clown. That's what he's trying to do. So if that was... Well, I can't say that's all he's trying to do. That's the problem. In this movie...
They try more. They
try
got more ambitious with it.
They tried more, but they didn't stick
They
to it.
didn't quite land it.
It's just
they
like...
didn't nail the superhero landing,
Yeah.
which they make a
Yeah,
joke
exactly.
about.
Yeah. So it's
All right,
like...
let's get to the specifics of this
Sure.
movie. Are we going to spoil? Not spoil? Not
Yeah,
spoil, I
let's
suppose.
spoil, let's spoil
Okay,
it.
fine. Let's
Good,
spoil.
it's been a
Actually,
minute.
yeah, it doesn't matter since Deadpool 2 spoils the entire thing itself. All
Yeah.
right. So the movie begins with Deadpool's GF dying, with DP's GF dying.
She's my bae. I was thinking about this the other day. Like, somebody asked me, like...
Vanessa. Marina Baccarin.
Marina Baccarin, yeah. Somebody asked me, like, biggest, like, celebrity crushes or whatever. And my default is usually Jennifer Aniston, which it still holds true.
What? Okay, from Friends.
Yeah.
What's she even done in the past 20 years?
Very random, forgettable.
Though
Random rom-coms.
She is doing a Netflix movie with
is, yeah.
Tig Notaro, who is one of my favorite stand-up comedians.
Oh, yeah.
She's great. All right, anyway.
But yeah, Marina Baccarin, somehow, I was just reminded of her, and I was like, yeah, she is actually, might be number one.
Let's do like a double date situation. You, Marina Baccarin, me, Kristen Ritter. It'll be great.
Oh,
We'll
right,
all make
yeah, I
friends.
forgot Kristen Ritter.
Yeah.
The number one.
She's great.
Oh, well. But, why did this come up?
I don't know.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it's
she's in the movie.
fascinating. Yeah.
Cool, she's a thing. Yeah.
For a bit.
She's in it for a bit.
You know, I really like Marina Baccarin. I think she's
Yeah,
a solid actress. She's
great.
really funny.
I really liked her in
But,
Gotham as well. She was a saving grace
I
on that
found
show.
this really cringy. It's also in the trailers, and it's a line that's called back later as this like sentimental thing, where she goes like, "Kiss me like you miss me, Red." And I'm like, that's the stupidest line I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Anyway,
This movie had a lot of
that
really
thing
stupid
from the
lines.
yeah?
It
True.
might be. I don't
Here's
know.
what in the first movie, it would throw out like 100 jokes a minute.
Yeah.
70 of them would land, and that's fine. You'll paper over the 30 that didn't.
Right.
In this movie, I feel like the ratio was closer to 50-50. Half the jokes land, half of them don't.
Yeah, pretty much.
But anyway,
much.
the movie begins with his girlfriend Diane,
Yeah.
and it's essentially him in mourning and in denial trying to work past it.
Yeah.
So he tries to become an X-Man,
Right.
and then he sets up an X-Force, all to protect a kid who he feels a fatherly bond with,
Right.
because he wants to be a dad.
Yep.
A Dadpool, if you will, which is also a thing.
A thing.
Yeah. So what did you think of this story, which is basically like, I mean, the origin story is a given for a superhero, and like whatever gravitas he had there, it didn't even really have to be earned because it's just like this is how he started out.
Yeah.
But here, where you're trying to give depth to his character, thin
Yeah.
as it is,
Yeah.
was that, should they even have tried that?
I was okay with the dad thing and him sort of needing to adopt what's his name? Fire Fist?
Fire Fist.
Fire Fist, yeah, that's his
Yeah.
name. Yeah, so like I was like, all right, I was vaguely enough on board with that.
Fire First.
See, we're onto something.
All right.
So I was fine with that, but the dead girlfriend thing happening like within the first 5 minutes, right after he just made like a Martha joke, I was like,
Yeah.
it's not the exact same thing, but it's the exact same thing. I mean, it's just
kind
like
of is, yeah.
it's like you lost somebody, you lost like the one person that's like holding you together emotionally, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they found a way to keep Vanessa still in the plot, like regarding those like not flashbacks but whatever those are, like those
The-
astral projections
Right,
that he
yeah,
has. Because again, she's a good performer, and like that was the one, like there was a few moments of poignancy in the film which it really needed, I guess. But yeah, like just the premise of that was
Is
kind of like really like
slightly
for something that's
hokey,
so
yeah.
self-aware. I was like, I expected a little better.
Yeah. I mean, you're kind of setting the bar that high for yourself, because if you make fun of everything,
Yeah.
then you better be
Exactly,
really good.
exactly.
Which they don't quite pull off.
Right.
They're okay.
Yeah,
and
you
that's
can't
an
make
issue.
fun of it and then just fall into the same things again. And you can't, and saying like, I'm aware that I'm falling into it is not a way to get out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't cheat.
Yeah.
All right. So, as an emotional expansion of the Deadpool character, we're not on board. But
Yeah.
what about the jokes? Is the jokes funnies?
The jokes are alright. Some of them definitely were funny.
Yeah.
But it's maybe
there were moments
too many.
where I laughed out loudly.
Yeah, there were a couple. I'm trying to remember a few.
They're very...
They were there.
They're jokes
so
that lack
too
context.
quick.
They're basically just like things that would work
Right.
it's like a long sketch, really,
Yes.
at this point. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
what if superheroes knew they were in superhero
Right,
movies is
right.
essentially... It's a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like you said, when you throw 100 jokes a minute, you're not going to land 100 jokes.
Yeah.
And so, like, unfortunately, I'm more aware of the fact that jokes aren't landing than I am when they are landing. Like, it's very welcome when a joke lands, but, like, it sucks to see a joke fail.
Yeah.
Like, when you see something that's clearly like, hey, this is a line I'm saying, and it doesn't land, I'm immediately taken out of the film.
Right.
It's like, wow, you failed.
Exactly.
And you're showing me that you're failing again and again and again. And then
That's-
one lands. Like, okay, cool.
Yes, and it's especially a problem when you try and act like you're too cool for school.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm making this out to be worse
Yeah,
than it
we
was
are. So
because
I
I thought it was okay as a movie overall.
Yes,
As like
exactly.
it's
It was-
fine.
it was
It's
fine.
more of
It
the
was-
same.
it was- yes.
It's not as good.
I'll watch it one more time on home release, and I'll be very surprised if I see it more than that.
Probably, yeah.
But,
I don't even know if I'll watch it that second time.
So
I've
let me
had-
let me turn to something that I did really like, which
Yeah.
was a big surprise. Colossus. I
Yeah.
was like his little arc that he had was charming. It was a lot more charming than the first movie. He
Yeah.
had a lot more to do than in the first movie. And I felt like that role that he played in the family that they sort of, dysfunctional family that they exist in was a really necessary role to have in this story.
Yes,
You needed somebody to have that perspective
like
on
the
things.
moral center. Of
Yeah, you
sorts.
needed that moral center. And I thought he pulled it off well. And I thought, like,
Yeah.
this the stoic, whatever. Is he made of steel? What's he made of? I don't know what he's made
Steel,
of.
I guess,
whatever.
yeah.
The big, giant,
Chrome.
solemn, chrome dome guy.
Yeah.
Is like, it was appropriate that it's him.
I didn't think of that, but actually I do agree with you. There's that scene after Deadpool tries to kill himself repeatedly
Yeah.
where Colossus kind of puts him back together and says like, hey man, this is how you can recover. That was actually a good scene.
Yeah, it was.
That was one of the few emotional moments they pulled off.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I'll tell you, like, the first opening, like, 5-10 minutes of the film, it had a lot of promise for me, as far as
Yeah.
I was concerned. Because the minute that, it's revealed that he's killing himself in this thing, I was like, that is morbid AF. He's saying it in a very funny way, in a very Deadpool way.
Yeah.
But the movie opens with that subject matter, and I was like, this is amazing, because that is such a brilliant thing. It's literally, I don't know if it was intentional, I'm sure it was because it's Deadpool. That's literally what Logan was dealing with,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
I can't die and I want to die.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is great. I would love to see your combatment, because like the first gag is a Logan gag, right? And you knew based on the marketing that the Logan gags were going to keep coming. So I was like, great, if you're going to keep bringing up this guy, you have to defend why you're picking on him.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can subvert what Logan did beautifully in a comedic way, I will applaud you. I'll be the first one to give you a standing ovation. And they failed miserably at that because they backed out of it.
Correct.
Because when the movie started with the loss of Vanessa, the fact that, he hugs the guy that runs away to kill himself. He's like, I could just chop you up in a million pieces, but instead I'm going to commit suicide with you, and I'll give you a weird hug while I do it because we're in the same spot right now, buddy.
Yeah.
I was like, that's great. And then they cut to like the James Bond, title sequence. Okay, that's funny, but let's get back to it. And then they never did.
You're right.
So I was just like, you were onto something. I was rooting for it, and then it just it disappeared, and then it became, just a million jokes a minute.
It became just a bunch
fine.
of jokes a minute.
And then like the only thing that kept it going were the cameos and the surprises, the little,
which
were
again
very
work
fun.
at a 50-50 hit rate.
Yeah, they totally, were like, oh, it was cool to see that or whatever. But,
yeah. Cool. Let's take a break. We will come back and discuss what specifically landed for us in terms of jokes and whatnot, I suppose. And let's discuss our movie theater watching experiences, since that is relevant to Deadpool 2.
Ahoy.
We'll be right back.
Shunyawan, 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 Shunyawan.
$1 billion acquisition. Another copycat startup got formed.
No, the tech world in India is surely moving double the speed of this voiceover.
Tune in to Shunya One every Tuesday to catch us talking to the smartest people we know on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Shunya One is brought to you by Setu IMAX.
Welcome back to the Geek Fruit Podcast. We are discussing Deadpool 2. Jishnu, let's play one nice, one bad. What is one...
do it.
Though we've discussed like a bunch of bads, so let's just do nices.
Let's just do nices.
What is your favorite joke from this movie? Like what really worked for you? Because I tried to think of this just on my way here. I was like, what jokes landed for me?
Honestly,
I don't know.
Honestly, there's just too many. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
there's a
Like, I
lot.
can't
And
remember.
none of
That's
them
why
are
I can't remember the first
super
movie.
standout.
So we're trying to play one nice, but I can't give you a nice, man, because like there were jokes that landed, there were ones that made me laugh out loud, but there were just too many.
What do you think of that whole X-Force sequence? I actually enjoyed. I thought that was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, that might have been the best part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that
They pulled off a genuine surprise.
Yeah, that was great.
I was just like,
that was so
what?
good.
You did that?
So I ended up doing a lot of digging into this movie in the marketing materials because I said, screw it. I don't normally, as you know, like I usually stay away, but I thought I don't care that much about Deadpool, so this will be a good like exercise in just like dissecting clues and hints of what's happening. So two things happened. One, I called Juggernaut.
Yeah?
Yeah, I called
How?
it. But just from like the way that
You sensed it.
I sensed it.
Like you called it when you saw in the movie that they said there's a monster.
I'm not saying.
under,
Wait, let me retract that statement.
Yeah.
I did not call Juggernaut like I was the only one that saw it coming.
Right.
There've been speculation about it, based on the trailers, and there's a shot specifically of Colossus hitting his helmet in the trailer. It's like a reverse angle.
Oh, okay.
And it looked like a dome-shaped thingy, and then I was like, I don't know if I believe that. But then like the minute they like started the movie and they were like, hey, there's a monster in the base. I was like, oh.
And you're like, oh,
Okay.
it's Juggernaut.
Somebody really powerful. I wonder who.
Yeah.
So that was cool to see that happen.
Yeah.
On the flip side of things, like you said about X-Force, big, build up to X-Force, and I'm really glad that they didn't do
that they
X-Force.
did.
That
Yeah.
they
I
killed it
enjoyed
as
both
quick as they
parts of
started
that.
it.
Actually, I enjoyed the
build and the thing. Yeah.
Exactly, the build was great because
Yeah.
it was just funny. Though
Yeah.
they kind of exhausted it in the trailers.
Yeah.
But great. I liked Rob Delaney's character. I thought like this is a pretty random like one shot kind of joke, but his performance is just so nice. I want to say that he was great.
Yeah.
And the way they flipped that was really weird and unexpected.
Fun. Yeah.
So that was great. I liked Domino. Zazie Beetz.
She was really fun.
She was pretty good.
She was fun.
Though, I felt like her character was,
That's
her
the thing.
character's a giant walking Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, totally.
So-
But what was lacking for her was kind of lacking for most people, minus maybe just Colossus, like I said, was like some sort of cohesive motivation or an arc or like some development of any other reason than like, hey, you're on a team and I'm going to tell you what to do and these are bad guys, so let's kill them.
Yeah.
So I was like,
a
right.
person we haven't discussed yet, and a character we haven't discussed yet, and that probably is a reflection of how well they stand out in this movie, is Kabla, played by Thanos.
You know, I liked him.
Yeah?
I thought he was good at what he did.
But he didn't do much.
Exactly. He didn't do much.
Yeah.
But he was good at what he did.
I thought he was fine. Like,
every time he was on screen.
Josh Brolin is great.
Exactly.
I mean, just
that's like,
he talks with that like gritty
Right.
sort of attitude that a cobbler should have.
Yeah.
But also, he didn't really do much.
He didn't
punched
do-
things and like
like,
he flew his gun around or
he
whatever.
played, I mean, they referenced it directly, but they were like, oh, he's the Terminator. And he did the Terminator thing
Pretty
fine.
much.
So like, how compelling is the Terminator as a character? Not very, but it's a great movie to watch because it's like, he's intentionally written as a two-dimensional being.
Yeah.
And while Cable is not, he acted like one for at least the first half of the film. At least for that first half, I was like, cool, you're doing the evil bad guy thing pretty well. We know you can do that.
Yeah.
Now you're doing it really well with a gun, so that's cool.
I think Josh Brolin actually gave him some more depth than was written into the character.
Yeah.
Like, if it was anybody else, it'd be like,
nuance-
who's this random dude? But
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Josh Brolin, you're like, there's a backstory here.
Right. The nuance of just like the grimace was done pretty well. I will say also another thing I liked was the connection that brought together them banding together. Oh, that was a horrible sentence. The connection between Deadpool and Cable when they first meet
Right.
on the sofa. He's like, "Oh, you just lost your wife. I did too, buddy."
Yeah.
The way that was handled, even though that's exactly the Martha thing again,
You're right.
it was handled better.
They did it
So I was
better.
like, cool. Like,
so we're saying
that's
that
the thing. It's like
what Deadpool is trying...
fell into its own pitfalls that it was addressing.
Yeah.
Some things it did land, but I'll say only like 20% of it.
Correct.
And that is one of that 20%.
So this is possible. It's possible to be really funny and self-referential and make fun of everybody else while also telling a great, compelling story. Because they do it in moments. They do
Right.
it with Colossus. They do it with this first scene with Cable, as you said.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they don't quite pull it off.
Right.
But there's a great Cable joke that, like, just a simple side gag that I really liked, which is that his gun
Yeah.
has a guitar volume knob on it.
Yeah. That was fun.
That goes up to 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is great.
That's cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
Tell us about your theater watching
Yeah, man.
experience now. Let's move on to that. So, wait, just to give us a finality on
Yeah.
Deadpool 2, what did you think of that post-credits
Yeah, I was
scene?
going to say, are we going to get that?
Yeah, let's do it.
I can't...
Spoilers, but basically the
Yeah,
post-credits
like we haven't
scene...
spoiled it already.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I mean, now we're completely spoiling. I feel like we've been good about the spoilers
I
up to this
suppose,
point,
I
but
suppose,
now,
yeah.
let's spoil it completely. The post-credits scene basically reverses everything that happened.
Right.
Which is, what?
Cool. Okay, now here's the
They're going to
only
stick with that, I
investment...
think, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now this is where my conflict begins. Like I said earlier, I don't know how much to invest in Deadpool or this Fox universe because I don't know what's legit and what's not.
What is real even?
Now, the only way it gets interesting, though, is because of the Disney-Fox merger that's happening, which is still a ways away. It's still a couple of months, maybe a year away. Will we see Deadpool in the MCU? Possibly. It could happen. Now,
Good.
it could. I mean, I don't know what the likelihood is. But if that does happen, right, that is where I'll be really interested in Deadpool. Because he will be in a universe where consequences actually are a thing. Right now, the fact that you can do this, I feel like a little bit of this time thing that's happening now in the universe between Days of Future Past, I guess technically because of Days of Future, that's when it started, but now because of this time turner that he's got, it's also kind of keeping up with the Joneses when it comes to what the MCU is doing.
Yeah.
We're getting 100% into timey-wimey stuff with the MCU now, and so Fox has to give us, something equally relevant, I suppose. And this move that they played was a little shoehorned. I
Yeah.
mean, it's literally post-credit, like, BT dubs, I built a thingy, and now,
And
like, even though the
nothing is real.
even though the whole plot of this movie was I can only use it twice.
Yeah.
By the way, we can now magically undo that.
And-
Okay, fine, superhero movie, we can forgive a million things.
Yeah.
But, like, the way it was done, it was funny. It was very funny. But I
It was
didn't
funny,
take it seriously.
But at what cost?
Yeah, I didn't like it. It underplayed my
entire-
investment in it. Just like
It's the superhero equivalent of it was all a dream.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, fine, that can work sometimes.
Sure.
In this case, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so
It's
moving
like
forward,
It's a throwaway joke that has consequences that we don't know yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, just quick aside, another tidbit about the cameos with when the X-Men come in for like a hot second and like shut the door. Mm-hmm. Did you know that was apparently filmed on the set of Dark Phoenix?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so apparently they just got a phone call, and the Deadpool guys were like, "Hey, so we want to do a little thing. What will you get? Can you guys just do this?" Like, yeah, all right. We'll just like shut a door on you or something. Yeah, that's fine.
Huh.
So that's
a good gag, though.
That's a good gag, and it's
Yeah.
encouraging to hear that there's at least some level of cohesion between the films, enough to be like, we won't write the cast into the plot, because then otherwise we have to be aware of the consequences, like what he did in this movie will affect the other movie. Let's just like show our faces and we'll be
Yeah.
done with it.
Nicely
Which is,
done.
it's a good sign that like at least showrunners are, talking to each
making
other.
friends.
Yeah, at least they're like, all right, I acknowledge that you exist and we are. That's fine. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
It's good. Let's
that's a
see.
positive
I
note.
suppose.
That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
it's a positive note.
Yeah.
Let's see what the future holds. Now tell me about your IMAX and censorship experience.
Yeah. Honestly, the censorship was not too bad. The
Okay.
the only moments that took me like really made me cringe. So mine had subtitles,
Right.
which you know how much I hate that. So
Yeah.
that sucked. But there were quite a few slow-mo moments, right? Where there's like action scene and somebody's like, no, in slow-mo. They subtitled incorrectly to censor a swear. I forget what the word was. They subtitled a slow-mo shot where somebody's cursing, but there's no audio because it's slow-mo. So just like music, and he's like, F you or whatever he's saying. So you can't hear it, but they subtitled it. But because it's a curse word, they put an incorrect subtitle for something that's not being said.
That is so dumb.
So it's like, you have gone above and beyond, like your
Yeah.
efforts to keep my virgin ears,
Why? Why even
Just-
bother? I
oh.
mean, it's Deadpool. So
Yeah.
okay. Well, first of all, I watched the cinema in 4DX.
right.
Which is it's 2D but 4DX.
Right.
So the screen is 2D,
Yeah.
but the seats move, and so whenever someone opens a door,
Yeah.
there's like a gust of wind, which is like a blast of AC air. When a firefight,
That sounds like it must be freezing.
it was in parts actually. So it puts you into the space that these guys are in. When there's like gunfights happening and there are these flashes of light, sometimes the lights come on in the theater in like a flash.
Oh, wow.
So it's like really weird, and the seats move. Like I
Okay.
thought it'd be like they kind of like vibrate a bit or
Yeah.
something. No, if there's like a giant drone shot that kind of pans away, you feel it. It's weird.
In a good
And-
way?
No. See, it's not bad. I get the gimmick.
Yeah.
I don't think it works for every movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for this, and I think they overdid it.
Okay.
Because there's stuff like when he gets into a car,
Yeah.
the seat starts vibrating like you're in a car. And I'm like, why? I know what being in a car is like.
Oh, wait, but even if it's like a boring scene of just like idling in traffic and you're just like, damn it, I have road rage now, even though I'm sitting in a theater.
Yes. So it's distracting in a weird way. So it's not completely cohesive, which is a problem.
Yeah.
And anyway, to get to the censorship part of it, it's weird. I think I saw an airplane version of this movie.
What?
Because there are parts where they're clearly saying dick,
Yeah.
but they say duck. They're like, man, don't be such a duck about
Wow.
this. So I think I saw the airplane version because this wasn't dubbed in by like fake voices or
Sure.
muted or whatever.
Sure.
It's clearly them moving their lips to say duck and saying duck. What's up with that?
I had a really fun one, which made me laugh. I think at some point Cable says the C word,
Okay.
the four-letter C word,
Right.
and it was clown.
Ciao. What?
Yeah. It was something like, don't be such a clown.
Maybe Cable's just gotten woke, man.
Maybe.
He does have that very mod Justin Bieber haircut.
He does.
So, and he's from the future. Like over here, we're like, hey man, it's 2018. Don't talk like that. He's like, it's 2032. So it's fine. We're past all this.
I noticed that there was a Thanos joke that they took out of the trailer. Or rather, they took out of the movie that was in the trailer.
What was it?
Um,
Because he does
pump
refer
the
to.
hate breaks Thanos.
He
was
says that,
line.
right? He
He
that
said
in the
something
movie.
else about Thanos later.
Okay.
In the, yeah.
Cool.
Random.
Well,
When you have a million jokes.
exactly. This is
That's what
what.
they should have done. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to make two predictions.
Right.
Deadpool 3 is Deadpool 4.
Okay.
Okay. And, yeah, the trailer for the next movie is a complete red herring.
And everything changes.
Nothing is what the trailer is.
Yeah.
They just film.
They
make
came
a,
close in this one with the whole X-Force thing.
Yeah.
And the
I
next
say,
one.
I say go for it. Like, friggin', So if you want to surprise me, surprise me. Like,
So
I would love it.
This is my hope for the Deadpool franchise as well. Like, go nuts with it. Don't try and make like an emotional story. Just do like really fun stuff.
because like to be honest, I really enjoy the marketing. Like I love seeing Deadpool like pop up. Like I loved him on Colbert.
The marketing is as funny as the movie.
Yeah, I'd say the marketing is funnier.
Funnier.
I'd say the marketing is funnier than the movie.
I will agree with you
Yeah.
there.
I don't mean to hate on him because like I'm rooting for these movies to work, but like I can't deny when something like it's like I said, he's such a loud presence. I'm like, all right, I see you, but like you better. It's like the Thanos situation. Like if Thanos didn't work, that's what Deadpool is for me.
Exactly. You're
It's
right.
like everybody and their mom knows about Deadpool. Everybody and their mom knew about Thanos, and they're like, he's coming. It's like, okay, cool, Deadpool's coming, great. He's gonna make me laugh, right?
And then when he doesn't, it's a problem.
Sometimes.
Now, you and I, Jishnu, might be in the minority
We're in
on
the
this.
vast
so
minority, I'm
let's
sure.
throw this open to the vast majority of our listeners. So why don't you guys tell us what you thought of Deadpool 2, and if you agree with us with everything we've said up to this point, basically, and tell us about your censorship experiences.
Deadpool should make his own Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Deadpool should step out from the cinema and make a TV show
This is our
that
cue to
nobody
end the
watches. No, he should do a show that nobody
Once
watches.
again,
and then I'll
Jishnu
watch
has
it,
gone on an
and then
Agents
I'll
of
tell you
S.H.I.E.L.D.
about
run.
it. It'll be 100 episodes long.
This is
It
never
might
gonna
be
end.
Six seasons long.
The longest running franchise in the universe
The
is
Whedons
Jishnu
might
talking
not
about
make
Agents
it,
of
but if
S.H.I.E.L.D.
it's not Whedon, who
So
could
you
be?
can get in touch with us on all
Guillermo
the social
del Toro.
media at Geek Fruit
Deadpool.
HQ.
No,
You
John
can
Hughes. Can
visit
you imagine a John Hughes
geekfruit.in
Deadpool?
where we
He
have
kinda
all
did
sorts of
that.
stuff up.
He did that at the end.
And we will
of,
catch y'all next week.
Deadpool 1. That was
Keep listening to
I
the
like
Geek
that
Fruit
was great.
podcast.
That was better.
See y'all, you nerds.
Yeah.
There she stands, a podcast addict. Outside the bank, having traveled several miles to get in with other poor souls like her. The journey, though daunting for this youngling, will have some comfort because she has downloaded her favorite podcast. You can see more of her species on ivmpodcasts.com, your one-stop destination where you can check out the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.